Welcome guys, so a lot of people have been talking about this brand new controversial bedwars update that just completely changes the way the game is played for high level players. So basically they added matchmaking, which means that players can only be put in games with people who have similar bedwars levels to them, and I figured I'd make a video giving my thoughts on this new update since it's just such a big deal. The first thing I'd like to say is it's not real. The update, it didn't actually happen. It's not a thing. So yeah, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to hear more commentary. I'm kidding. To give you the abridged version of what happened, so there's two ways to join a bedwars game, the regular queue or the map selector. You join with the regular queue, the game like instantly fills up. It's easy. The map selector is a bit different because it can't just spit you into a server with everyone else. It has to give you a server with the map you want. So let's say we want to play Swashbuckle, it'll send us into an empty Swashbuckle server or a Swashbuckle server with only other people who picked Swashbuckle from the map selector. The obvious problem is that you could wait 16 billion years and you'd never find 16 people who would voluntarily play Swashbuckle. Fortunately, the random queue will eventually take pity on you and send a bunch of players your way. But the regular queue, for some reason, wasn't taking pity on the map selector servers, so people who used the map selector had to sit there in empty lobbies for a ridiculous amount of time because the only people who could join were people who had a high enough rank to use the map selector and cared enough to pick a specific map. As it turns out, most of the people that fit that description are high-level parties, and so people were noticing, hey, these games are taking forever to start, and most of the people joining are high-level parties. The only reasonable explanation is that the Hypixel admins have made a secret update that makes you only able to play with people of similar bedwars level, and they didn't tell anyone because they knew we'd be mad. Now, this isn't quite the dumbest conspiracy theory I've ever heard, because it is true that the admins have, in the past, proposed an update like that. I mean, before the entire forums went, no, and the admins cut it out. But at the same time, I feel like we should, investigate at least a tiny bit before immediately going, it's an admin conspiracy hidden update! Especially because, the regular queue worked fine, no matter what star you were. It was exactly the same as it always was. So after a few hours of this nonsense, suddenly people in the forum started celebrating. We did it, guys! It's back to normal. We convinced the admins to revert the update. High fives all around. And, meanwhile, I'm in the player council. I was talking to the actual admins, and they were going, yeah, we have no idea what they're talking about. We didn't do anything. So an admin went on the forums and made a thread telling people what actually happened, and it went a little bit like this. Dear bedwars players, no update happened. Matchmaking wasn't added. You're all idiots. Please stop yelling at us. Thanks. Well, I mean, obviously the way they phrased it was a bit more tactful. I'm hilarious. I don't know, man. I just can't help but feel bad for the admins because they're just constantly getting yelled at for things that for no reason, basically. Like, okay, so they made that thread on the forums and like 800 people saw it, and then meanwhile some YouTuber made a video, how the new update ruined bedwars, 55,000 views. The update isn't even real! I'm done.